Avenews is a financial super app for the agriculture industry. We here to serve the 2.5 million agriculture, small to medium-sized businesses across the African continent. Our clients, businesses who serve the farm, they sell them the agricultural inputs the farmers need in order to plow the land. So chemicals, animal feed, they have stores. We give them the capital to stock up and be able to sell forward to the farmers. And the other side of our customers are the traders, the aggregators, the small millers, basically the immediate market for the farmers. This is our second segment of client. While we divided into two segments, there is very many varieties of businesses because we are across the agricultural supply chain. So we have businesses who deal with animals or animal feed or animal as a whole, dairy, meat, commodities such as maize, soybeans, etc., and fresh. So from avocados to tomatoes, all of it. And what we've built in order to serve this wide variety of clients is that we have a very sophisticated underwriting capabilities that taking into considerations the uniqueness, the agriculture industry and the uniqueness of the business. So we understand the commodity risk, the value chain risk that these businesses share with them. And by doing it, we are providing capital in like as short as 2 days. We can provide $100,000 in 2 days.
Hi, Shalom. It is an absolute pleasure having you in the show.
It's Monica. It's such a pleasure to have this conversation with you. I was really looking forward to this moment to have this chat, and I'm excited.
Likewise, because we met and we have a chat, and then at the end I was like, you've got a very strong mindset. Not only you're an entrepreneur, right? All the entrepreneurs have a strong mindset, but I was like, I like the way that you think. So I was really looking forward to this chat.
Okay.
So I want to start in that because, yeah, you do come across as a strong man as such. And we all know that strength sometimes comes from pushing through the rough times, and we all have tough times. So that's how I want to start. What's your mindset when it comes to failure and going through the difficult times?
A tough question to start with, Monica. So when I was a kid, I was an athlete. So until the end of high school, basically, I was doing judo. So very you're alone. So you're in the ring with your competitor and you need to deal with it. You need to win. And when you lose, you lost. Not the team lost, no one. It's like you yourself, you're the one who lost. And I think my coach and I, what we did is that we celebrated wins, but we acknowledge loss. You lost because, and you go why you lost. And you understand that losing is important. It's not something you need to avoid. It's really important for you to become better in what you do. Because if you're not losing, it means you're not pushing yourself. You're not competing in the right competitions. You're not in the level that suits you. And once you lose, now you have the opportunity to learn and become better. Now, we always want to win and you do whatever it takes in order to win. But when you lose, it's fine. Let's put it in perspective. Let's understand and let's fight. And there is an important fights which win and you're going to win. And there is the ones that you can lose. And if you lose, that's fine. And I think
I like
this perspective is really important because you try and win everything, but understand what is important, what is not that important. And if you lost in a not that important fight, take it, understand why, use it to fuel your ability to become better.
Yes, I like that approach because sometimes when we struggle, that it's the tough times. It's not like we're losing in a competition. It's just like life is tough. But at the same time, if we use that mindset that it's tough because I'm losing on my ability to manage this situation better, then you're like, oh, I just learned something. And therefore you can make those tough times easier / better to cope with.
Yeah, 100%. And I think eventually, when you're an entrepreneur, when you build something, you're not in a sprint and you don't have a direct line up. You have a mixed line, go up and down sometimes simultaneously. Your personal life, your business life, you're so much that's going on. And if you like, you need to win everything. And if you didn't win, it's the end of the world. Then it's like, you don't have any, it's really hard to celebrate small wins that way. Because every time that you won something, you diminish it. You said, no, it's what
Mm.
space for. The important is up in front of us. Let's continue and let's celebrate. Because continue like expecting to win will not get you to anywhere. And I think understand like losses is super important to cope with it, but also I think through understanding that you can lose, the win is much more sweeter. And then when you have these small wins, it's the fuel that let you going.
Yes, I like that. Really good perspective. Which I'm like, that's a beautiful way to start the episode. Just first 2 minutes, and we're like, boom, straight into it. Now I know that you have also a sports background and an entrepreneurial background. What's the piece of advice that you wish somebody gave you when you were younger, when it comes to your career or your business?
And I got so many advice which I should have listened. When you start a company, everyone telling you, look, it's a marathon. You need to prepare yourself. Not a year, it's not 2 years, it's a journey. And I think I did understood how like when you start, you have a very fluid understanding of time. Like you say, yeah, 5 years, fine, easy. 5 years from now, we're going to be there. But then these 5 years, it's when you're in that as an entrepreneur, it's like it's a long 5 years, and you understand that you committed to something. So it's I was going to contradict myself because if I would understand, I may not. I would maybe I would done different stuff, which I think my past and my career so far it's great, and I cherish it. I the advice that I should have listened but not listened is like that it's a marathon. It will take time. So I think the one piece in this advice that I would maybe take more seriously is to enjoy like the beginning, enjoy the small moments. Like it's so hard to start, but there is so much fun stuff there, and there is so much really important events that happen to you when you start your first money, like you raise the first money, even it's $20,000. It's like someone
It's a
believe in
big
you
thing.
and gave you $20,000. Yes, your goal is to raise millions, but like you just raised $20,000 for an idea. It was a slide. Someone gave it to you. It's in your bank account. Celebrated hard. I think the advice was it's a journey. Embrace the journey and celebrate and cherish the small stuff. Cherish the milestones, the bad and the good.
Good. Yes. Yeah, you're right. I'm a big believer in celebrating the little wins. I call them micro wins. Because yeah, it's
You
the
must.
micro wins that make the difference. It's not just the wow, big trophy. No, it's a micro win that shows you that there's progress and that keeps you going. Because like you say, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
So this podcast is about basically how can we create an industry that is more purpose driven and creating products that have impact. In your opinion, what's the role of purpose in the industry and how can we make it better?
I think it's super important, especially in today's environment where we see that like good to have financial services are just doesn't have a solid business model. And I think when I look on the solutions and the product we bring into the market, we look for three different components. One is the value we bring to our client. Like from our perspective, when we lend to our client, eventually when we give him the money, when he pay us back, he need to have more money in his pocket. It cannot it cannot be that he will pay us and he will left with less money. So and it's not a vague value. It's a really
Tangible.
strong value. okay, we give you money. When you pay us back, you have more money in your pocket. Like straight. It's not like you need to search for the value. It's not like you really enjoyed from the experience, therefore you had value or you got it very fast. This is your value is that you have more money than us. Our value and your value is similar. Like the basics are the same. I think first is like looking on the value you bring to your client. As second is about solving problem, but I think solving problems should come in. I think money can change power gaps because eventually, if someone doesn't have money or someone doesn't have access to capital or someone doesn't have the best payments option, you have gaps compared to someone else who have the access to.
Yes.
So what we try to understand, or when we look on problems, we're looking on how we can shift power or spread the power even in the industry. So we working within the agricultural supply chain, and we always when we lend to the businesses there, so we lend to small to medium sized businesses within the agricultural supply chain, and it's super important that with our capital they can compete with the bigger guys. They can be able to get the best product in order to sell and to fulfill the orders. So we're looking on their problem is that they are squeezed. They have their margin is the smallest. The access to products which they are trading with the hardest because they short in cash. How we can shift the power additions towards them and be their added value, allow them to compete and become better. So I think like when you look on problems that you want to solve, see how you can shift the power gaps, see how you can bring a solution to someone who is like in a position that through financial services, he can become much better. He have much more power, banking power, ability to do more, etc. I think the third point is about the market because we in the global economy, when in startups, I think because we are the riskiest and we are the boldest as well, we should go to markets that have a massive risk and a massive reward next to it. And I think currently for us, especially like we work in Africa, currently we're in Kenya. It's really rare in Israel that a company will say, our market is in Africa. This is what we're going to do. This is what we believe. Most of the different fintech companies looking on the Western world, trying to do very important things and shift the needle, but eventually everyone go to the same place. And I think because we are the riskiest and we are the boldest, let's go to the untapped market. Let's open them. Let's see how we can change the paradigm and how we can demonstrate that there is like really high returns in this market. So think about your market when you deploy your product and when you want to expand. Think about not the less risk, smaller margins, massive markets. Okay, we're good at scale. Fine, it's great. Business model is fine, but in Africa or in the riskier markets, you can do it in a smaller scale, higher margins. It's balanced up.
Makes sense.
So I think the way I see the industry coming along and evolve and bringing more impact is first of all, think about your clients and the value you give them. I believe the company and the client should have the same basics and get the same value. Second, see how you can shift the power through financial services because I think power is not evenly distributed and financial services are key to to have a way the way better and balanced power distribution. And third, think about the market, see where you can create the best returns and take more risk, be bolder.
I love all of it. And it's the first time that I hear about power and power dynamics. And you have a very good point. It's like our customers in your case, like customers in the agriculture sector, it's, yeah, you're giving them a loan, but your expectation is that because of that loan, they will be better in life, in their business. Therefore, the power dynamics will even out a little bit more so that by the time they pay back, they are better. I love that ethos.
Thanks. And it's part of our risk engines and everything. Eventually, when we look on the agriculture industry, what we see is that in trading environments, put aside agri, the ones who hold the commodity is the one who set the price, is the one who set the dynamics in the market. Then you move to agriculture, and the ones who have the products, which are the farmers, have zero power. Then the one above them
Yes.
have some power, but the one who buy have the all of the power
Follow.
is the one who buy. And while we are not targeting farmers, we're targeting the level above farmers. We really believe that if they will have, and what we're seeing currently in the results, like give them the capital, give them the best financial services they can possibly receive, which is include payments, understanding on their margin and how they should do their business, make them better businesses, give them the access to capital they need, and they will win. They will become better. They will be able to negotiate better on prices, get better products. So it's not just me believing it, like our fundamentals are aligned to it.
Awesome. And I think we're like full on in the conversation and we haven't talked about avenues as such. And we're like, yeah, agriculture, this and fintech. And can you tell us what do you guys do? And then how did you come up with the idea of
Sure. So Avenews is a financial super app for the agriculture industry. We here to serve the 2.5 million agriculture, small to medium-sized businesses across the African continent. Currently, we're doing Kenya. Our clients, businesses who serve the farmers. So which either they sell them the agricultural inputs the farmers need in order to plow the land. So chemicals, animal feed, you name it. They have stores. We give them the capital to stock up and be able to sell forward to the farmers. And the other side of our customers are the traders, the aggregators, the small millers, basically the immediate market for the farmers. This is our second segment of clients. While we divided into two segments, there is very many varieties of businesses because we are across the agricultural supply chain. So we have businesses who deal with animals or animal feed or animal as a whole, dairy, meat, you name it. Commodities such as maize, soybeans, etc., and fresh. So from avocados to tomatoes, all of it. And what we've built in order to serve this wide variety of clients is that we have a very sophisticated underwriting capabilities that taking into considerations
Mm.
the uniqueness, the agriculture industry and the uniqueness of the business. So we understand the commodity risk, the value chain risk that these businesses share with them. And by doing it, we can, and we are providing capital in like as short as 2 days. We can provide $100,000 in 2 days. And we do it through our app. So the way we structure it is that we believe the new wave of financial services are not one silver bullet. So it's not just, hey, I'm doing only payments, or hey, I'm doing only lending, or I'm doing only neo-banking. The current customer base, they need everything. They need to be able to bank with the startup company or the high-tech company that give them the loans and give them the payments infrastructure. So what we did is that we bundled everything into one app, basically allowing our clients to choose the amount of services they would like to get from us. So we're giving them all the options, including the ones we are not lending to. So if you denied client, you still can use all of our services. And we're also allowing you to understand what you can do or what you need to do in order to become eligible for our capital. So Avenues, what we are combining inside our super app, it's an embedded finance approach where we are the interface. So we are the payment system. We are the management system for the business. but we're also the lender. So we can allow you to understand and do different things. And now here you go, you're eligible. So you can borrow from us. And it also allows us, allowing us to collaborate. And we're collaborating with other lenders such as banks, collaborate with other software companies where we embed our lending capabilities into them. So Avenews is the way I see it is we like an octopus. We can fit ourselves into very narrow holes with massive amount of capabilities. We can control different things from one center. So from payments to lending to wallet and bank accounts. And it's really exciting. We come to work and we love what we do and we're really passionate about it. And it's also because we're super naive. We looked on the agriculture industry here in Israel and we saw that it's like, cannot be. So it's such an important industry and no one is lending to, and like farmers in Israel really struggle. But Israel is a very small country and what just build a company for Israel, it's not big enough to serve the purpose. And then we looked on different markets and we saw that Africa is like, it's like there is an anomaly there. On one hand, agriculture is like third of the GDP. The other hand, banks barely fine. You have like banks portfolio goes to agriculture only like 2% out of the portfolio. We said cannot be solved with a new. We applied to the Techstars Barclays Accelerator program and we got in with a presentation, basically. We were green as hell, but we took this opportunity and we managed to sell to Barclays a pilot, like Barclays Africa, raise money, build a company. We sold our software to banks for the first 3-4 years. But then we took the opportunity to become a lender ourselves. So since 2022, we are independently lending while collaborating with banks in the content.
Awesome. And then why agriculture is so important?
We all eat. Eventually, if we want to continue and have this access to healthy food and to allow into food, we need agriculture. And agriculture and arable land in the Western world is diminishing. We have less and less arable land. And in Africa, you have like endless currently, if you look on the continent potential. And the way we see it, Africa also growing rapidly. By 2030, if I'm not wrong, because I always confuse between 2030 to 2050, but 2030, 1 out of 5 people will be African. It's a super young continent, growing super fast. And agriculture is currently 30% of GDP, and it can and it should be much bigger. So we believe that tapping in where we are now into this very big niche will allow us to grow with the continent, to become a standard across the continent. How agricultural is being financed, how businesses are being set, and eventually how commodity is being traded and moved across the supply chain.
Yes. And I think like talking about impact, Avenews is like one of those fintechs that is actually having impact. It's not just, hey, let's build a super app. No, it is like you have you just explained, right? There's a big need. We all eat. As simple as that. And then the people working on the food for us, they need to be better supported. So I love that from you.
Thanks. Yeah, and really appreciate the compliment. What we're seeing eventually, and we strongly believe about it, is that you should do good and you should create like companies who do good, but eventually you should also earn very well.
Yes.
So why it's super important for us that our clients will make more money than us and that they will go, that we're working in Africa, we have very good returns. We're creating very good returns on our capital and we're growing very nicely. So from my perspective, it's addition to win synergy that market should have with company. should have very good returns. You should do very good to the economy you're working in. So yeah, we're excited about it.
Yeah. I'm like, well done. Yes, well done and congrats. Just expanding on agriculture. I was just curious, like you're from Israel, but you grew up in a kibbutz. Did that influence you and your decision of getting into agriculture, or how did that influence even your leadership style?
So this is my father answer. Like he heard me once answer it and say me, listen, Shalom, you're like fourth generation farmers. And he's right. Like when my grandfather came to Israel from, everyone were farmers. You needed to, was the profession.
Mm.
And when you grow up in a kibbutz, so a kibbutz is a social village. And you need to, when you're a kid, you need to donate one day of your week or work for the community. And kibbutz, majority of the businesses are agricultural related. So we have a milk dairy processing facility. So you can go and work in the dairy industry. We have turkey chicken. We have different plantation from citrus, cross cotton, etc. So when I was a kid, this is what I did. I worked in the fields. I did the hard work in farming and agriculture. So we put it very close to my heart. And when I got older and we thought about what we should do and what problems we should solve, the moment we looked at agriculture was immediate tick. So this is why agriculture is so close to my heart. I think you also asked like how the kibbutz influence my leadership skill. So again, you're because you're in a very close community, the way we grow up is that you can do whatever you want as a kid, but you need to do it. Like no one will plan it for you and execute it for you. You want to go to a 2-day trip? Fine. Do the research, understand your budget, do all the shopping, plan everything. We'll be there with you and give you the guidance, and there will be an adult to assist. But eventually, you as a kid, you need to do it. And I think early on, we had people who were the leaders there who took them on themselves and like plan and execute it. And I was one of them. And I think it's really hard to lead a group of kids. So
Yeah.
it's like you're one of them, you need to, and everything need to be
Yeah.
in order. You need to follow the rules. You need to do everything. And so we did a lot of, we twisted quite a lot of the corners, and we cut some corners, and we didn't follow all of rules. But I think it really taught me on how to plan and execute properly, because we did parties. So we wanted to have like for a party for the entire region. We organized everything, the kids, including the security and the amount, like the price, everything was part of it. If you are like, I was in the front. So it's like really taught me on how to do it, how to motivate people, how to be able to lead with an example, because again, you don't have any power beside the fact that you plan it and you go to execute it, but you're the kid, like everyone are the same kid. Yeah, like
You're
everyone
still
on the same
kids.
level. No one
Yeah.
like gave you a degree and say, hey, you are the in charge kid. No, you're the kid. Everyone are the kid. And I think
Cool.
leadership
Yeah.
need to come from, not from a power position. It need to come from a momentum, from an example that you set.
Yes. Which children lesson that you did you have when it comes to leadership? Because it's a very interesting experience that you had. That it's like you were leading other kids. You were a kid, but nobody told you
Yeah,
you are the chief
correct. So I
kid.
think what the main lesson is that the like title doesn't do anything. It just like have any title you want. Eventually, if people will not follow you, the title was nothing. And you need to invest, create the environment for people to go and believe in you and to follow you. And a title, it's fine. It's nice, but it's just a title. Eventually, you need to be able to lead without anything. And you need to be one of everyone. It's fine. You're the leader, but there is no, you can do everything and you are willing to do everything and you are doing everything. And the fact that you're the leader doesn't give you any special rights. Hey, I'm not doing this job because it's under my page or whatever. No, people see it. People react to it very badly. So my main lesson is the title is was nothing. It's only about yourself and and who you are.
Yeah. And I think what you're giving us is a proper definition of leadership. It is not exactly, it's not a title of the highest paid in the company, fancy title names, but it's hey, I'm with the people and I'm willing to do
Yeah,
all the jobs. And like you say, people do
exactly.
notice it.
Your hands are there the same as everyone else.
Yes, that's I think we need to bring that more to work, not even corporate, non-corporate, like just to work. A little bit more of that leadership style. Yeah, I like that. So at some point you talked about solving problems, but then solving problems doesn't necessarily means adding value. Can you expand on that and how you're using that with your product philosophy?
Yes, 100%. You can solve problems that there are problems. Our clients, one of their problems is that they manage themselves on a piece of paper. Fine. So you can say, hey, I want to solve their problem. I want to digitize them, give them tools. And we tried it. Eventually, they don't need, for them, they don't need someone to solve their problem. They need someone to assist them have a better cash understanding. So I think
Mm,
when you look on someone's problem, you need to see like, what is the problem and what the value you want to bring. Because if you solve someone's problem, but there is no value for him, you didn't solve me anything. Like, hey, you gave me something, you gave me a solution. It doesn't move the needle. Like, why I should use it? It doesn't give me the value I need. And I think what we're trying to do is to look on the value our clients need, understand why they're not getting this value from what they have, and see if we can give them these values through our solution. So I think it's a different way of looking on problems, because problems, everyone have tons of problems. They live with them. They don't need no one to solve them. These problems. You just don't need to. But we all seek for different value. Link the value to the problem, and then link the value to the solution you want to bring, and then see if there is if you solve a problem that way, fine. But if you just give it a value, it's also very good.
yeah. And I think this turns product management on its head because usually we say, hey, you have the customer, we need to find the customer problems and then how do they prioritize them? But actually, it's more of we can turn that around and say, what's the value that they need that they are not getting right now? Which is very different to which problems can we solve for them? It's minor tweak of
I
words, but
agree,
major
because
impact.
eventually you wake up in the morning as an entrepreneur to seize opportunities, and like, solving problems doesn't mean you seize opportunities. Creating value means that, like, you can, there's a price for this value. It's something you can get out of this value. And I think value link way better to opportunities that you want to seize as an entrepreneur compared to problems that you want to solve. Because eventually, to be honest, we're not a charity company. Like, there is tons of problems. We're not here to solve problems. We are here to create value for our clients, because we believe from this value we can earn and they can earn.
Yes. And do you have a framework or way of thinking in which you identify this
So what
value?
we do in Avenues is that we always try to think about our client first. So let's look on our loan product. We want it to be as digitized as possible because it will make our life easier. No paperwork, everything can be plugged in, plugged out. We can analyze everything fine. But our clients, how we can move it to our clients, how we can mobilize to our clients. And then what we're trying to do is not think about ourselves first, think about our clients first, and then and see if it ties. to our benefit or not. And if you look on digitization, so all of our clients really want quick and easy onboarding process. They don't want to go into a branch, stay there the entire day, fill up papers. They don't want it. For them, value is like quick and easy, and they can do it. So while we understand that current problems that they have is that they need to go into a branch, fill up paperwork, and understand it's fine. This is a problem they have, and one of the issues of lending to this segment. But the value they want is be able to do things really quickly, understand, like easy in the palm of their hand. And this value also ties to our value, which for us also, if it's digitized, fast, easy, we can do it way quicker. We need less people to look at it. Machines, we can do it. So this is how we look at things, trying to understand the value for our clients, see if there is synergy to the value we want to, if we can link it to one of the values we want to get out of this product that we want to roll out, tie the two, and then move it out.
I like that. That's a good way of thinking. Because many times you have, hey, we're solving customer problems. That's a very common phrase within the product world. Solving customer problems, and then you have company problems, and you need to tie them up or you compromise one for the other. But in your case, you're like, no, it's not about compromise. It's finding the value for both parties. It's a proper
100%, because
win-win.
eventually, if we can do things better, faster, easier, we can give more value to our clients. Our pricing can be friendlier.
Yeah, definitely. So coming back to Avenues and your culture, how would you describe your culture and how did you go about building it?
I think, first of all, we really, when we interview people and when we bring people into Avenues, we try to find the DNA, like the Avenues DNA, which I believe most of the companies try to do. For us, DNA should be someone who can we can see he is like purpose driven. He is not here for the paycheck, which is super important, no doubts. But eventually, we try to see from where he walk, from the heart or from the head. If they walk from their heart and they have all the skills and everything, we prefer the people that walk from the heart, even if they have less skills or less degrees, because people that walk from the heart, they will be with you in the hard time. They will not leave the company.
Yes.
They will want to push the company as strong as you want to push the company, because they're like, what drive them is like an internal fire of, it's important for me to do something that I relate to. It's something that excited me. I'm not like, hey, I have a 9 to 5 job, hate it, but pay my bill fine. Great. If someone really this is how his day will look like, it's not an Avenues DNA, it's not what we want. So once we have it, and this is the base, then we operate from that, we fuel this inner fire. We very direct. There is no filters. You did a good job, you get a well done. Something was wrong, you will know exactly what went wrong. But when we speak with you, we both speak from the same position of inner flame. So when I'm excited, when I come to you and I like give you feedback, even if it's a hard feedback, you will not fear of me going to fire you, because both of us coming from the same place. So we both want to win. We both are angry that we lost. Now we need to fuel this energy to win next time. I think this is how we're creating this culture of, we're a bunch of winners. We understand we sometimes lose. It's okay. We understand it. When we analyze our why we lost, we do it with passion because it's important for us. When we go and create something, we do it with passion because it's important for us. When we speak with our team members and when we do our dailies, we do it with passion because we like excited from the day. Super important for me to reach the targets for the week. And I think this mentality is something that we cherish. We succeeding in building it with like people, no matter they rank within the company, they come to win. They come to like push Avenues day after day. the harder the job find, they will come and do it. Hard time, they will come and paddle through and win. And I think it's all about finding the people who are work from the same basics, all have like inner flame, and they come because they really they want to win. They want to do something important, and they relate to Avenews, and this is our culture. Eventually, it's amazing. It's amazed me every time. Like I was in Kenya like last week or 2 weeks. You coming to the office, like people are running in the stairs if they late. They run not because they are being afraid of being let go. They need to be they want to be in the office because they need to hear the brief and they want to start the day, and they're like, it's important for them. And then it's great. It's a great feeling to see the company that we're built.
Yes, I can imagine because I even like the word that you used that they have the inner flame. It's like the inner fire. And that's if you manage to hire people with that, then the company just keeps going. It's a great principle, I think, especially as a founder. Once there's companies that founders leave, come, go, whatever, but then if you're still the founder, then I think it's a great trait
Yeah,
to keep
and
within
for
the
us,
company.
it's our company. We speak in we. It's ours. It's us. We win together. We lose
Mm,
together.
yeah, and it's like full circle to from where we started. I didn't know the conversation was going to be like, hey, full circle. I started with losing and winning, and now we end with losing and winning. It's been amazing, and I think I could speak with you like for another 3 to 5 hours. Where can we find you and Avenues?
So I'm on LinkedIn. Uh, Stop having business cards. So I'm on LinkedIn. I think my email is quite available. If you like to email me, it's also fine. I answer emails. I answer LinkedIn. So feel free to reach me out in one of the or two of the platforms.
Awesome. And then just to close the conversation, we touched so many good points, and it's not technical fintech, but it's more like the wisdom behind fintech. If there was one thing in fintech that you would change, just one thing that you could change that could have the most impact in customers, staff, and shareholders, what would that?
So from my very humble position, I think the value. I think techs need to have the same. They need to aspire to think their value and their clients' value. It cannot be that they're like, you will win once your client will not pay you on time. Like you want the client will not pay you on time, and this is your business model. It cannot be. I don't see it as it's a viable business model.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's a great point. It's a
You need to
win-win
be on this, like,
business models.
again, it should be, should think your value and the client value need to be on the same fundamental. Cannot be that like your clients need to lose in order for you to win.
I love that. Shalom, it's been amazing having you in the show.
Yes, Monica, I
Thank you so
really,
much,
really enjoyed the conversation.
everyone.
Thank you
See you
so
next
much
week.
for having me in your podcast. I'm really looking forward to hear this conversation when it will be released.
Likewise.
Yes,
Thank
bye
you,
bye.
everyone. See you next week. Oh, that was really good.
Monica, I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.